Thanks to the EA Creator Network, I got early access to the Sims 4 Royalty and Legacy expansion pack, and I have taken the time to lay out every single item in the build by catalog. And spoiler alert, it took more than one lot. It took more than a 64x64 lot because there's so much in this. And I'm going to show you everything in this pack, and we're going to chat about it, and it's going to be a good time. So let's look at the build by. This is the build by. This is lot 1 of 2. I have a second lot with a few things that did not fit in the other lot. So starting with the build catalog of this, I am very happy with it. We first off have a ton of different walls of different styles and different variations of them. So you can see here we have multiple stone walls, but they are different. So we have this one that is just standard, nothing else with it besides the stone. We have this one which has some detailing on the bottom of grime, and then the same for this one, but it's on the top, so you can have that details of the grime and age of buildings. Same for this sort of stucco wall as well. And even this tile wall has something like that. There's also a few interior walls. I think they're a little bit busy in terms of pattern when you're doing small builds, but because this is royalty and castles and all of that, usually the builds are bigger, the rooms are larger, so they don't seem as busy. But if you're making smaller builds, you might want to be careful with some of these wallpapers because they are quite intense. There's also these beautiful, like, picturesque walls that I'm just obsessed with. Like, they're just absolutely gorgeous. There's 3 different versions. So we have this arch one, we have this one that's like a picture frame, and then we have this one with the columns. Absolutely gorgeous and stunning. We also have 2 spandrels and a few different columns. We even have a half wall trim, which is really great to see, and a foundation trim. Unfortunately, this is not available for platforms, which is, I think, is this overlook, but it's fine. I'm not gonna be salty. There's also only 3 floors. I thought there would be more, but we have this kind of like geometric sort of shaped one. We have this really pretty tile one that is square design, has really some pretty colors, and this really nice stone tile floor that I actually really like a lot. We have a really nice roof texture that has variations for each of them to have, you know, some dirt and grime, lots of different wall decor pieces, and some landscaping, some, you know, wisteria that does come in different colors. They do come in like a lighter purpley pink and also white, which makes me really happy. There's a new shutter, which I love, and even a little wall fountain. Now, my favorite thing about this build by is that, one, we have landscaping that is not in the debug menu. So we have 3 different trees and 4 different bush flower pieces. I will say these are just kind of variations of stuff we have in base game, but you know what? I'm just excited to have more landscaping. And we have a ton of terrain paint. The last time we got terrain paint, I think, was Cottage Living, so I'm so excited to see new terrain paint. And these ones aren't just like dirt and things. This is like tiles and stones, and I just love to see this. I think it's such a nice thing to have, and I need them to start adding more of these. We have also another little fountain. I size them down. They're normally this size. I size them down for size purposes. This little fountain here, we have a pool trim and a fountain trim, all of which are nice swatches over here. We have a bunch of different fences, but only one actual gate, and then we have an archway gate. So there's nothing that matches this one right here. Unfortunately, dumb. That doesn't really match either. It's fine. We do have 2 different stairs as well with a few different railings. So we have this more wooden one, and then we have these more ornate railings, and they all do match the fences. We have some roof sculptures right here, but honestly, I really haven't used these on any roofs, and I've just been putting them in my landscaping, and they look really nice. And I think they're, well, I guess I'll accept these ones. This is more of a roof piece, but they look really nice in landscaping. We also, this is a base game feature, but I thought I'd show you in here. We got a reworking of stairs. So we can now flare the stairs. You can now flare the base of the stairs and the top of the stairs. My stairs are in the way. I have things in the way, so you can't bring them out of the way, but you can make them just look absolutely so cool. And there is a new railing setting as well. So you can have a double rail, a rail just on the right, a rail just on the left, or no rail at all, or of course the double rail. And then you can also adjust the height of the rail. So this is the top, this is the bottom, and this adjusts where the rail starts and stops. So if you want the rail to only go partially down the stairs because you want it to curve out, you can do that. Same with the top. So if you want it to start and stop in different spots, you can now. And that's a base game feature. That's part of the base game update, but I just wanted to show that to you. There are a bunch of windows and doors that I think they're very, very beautiful. They're mostly large. They're mostly 3 wall height, which makes sense with castles, but it doesn't really give us a lot of like interior doors and stuff. I feel like these just aren't great for interiors. Like they just kind of seem all like exterior doors, but the color schemes are really nice and they all have the same color scheme. And we also have a lot of arches, and then we also have arches with doors open on them that also look like the doors, but that are closed. So I think that's a really great addition that I love to see. And then we also have a few different windows, and I think they're all very pretty, and they come in all the matching swatches with the doors. I just didn't lay them all out for space saving purposes. But I think the windows are also really nice and can honestly be pretty usable outside of just like castles, especially like the one wall height ones. I think they can be very useful. But that is all the build category. Now moving on to the buy, we have so many chairs to sit on. Like if you just look at this menu, that's how many like sitting comfort items we have. And my favorite part about all of these is that this one right here, I didn't realize this until after I'd laid everything out. This is a sectional. This is a new sectional couch. So it has lots of different pieces. It doesn't have a chaise lounge piece, but I think that's fine. But we have the like arm pieces, we have the curved piece, and we even have it as a chair with arms as well. The last time we got a modular couch was Dream Home Decorator, so I'm so excited to see that. We also have a few other chairs that have all matching swatches. There's kind of two styles of furniture. We have the style that fits more of the Dambell world, which is the world based on West Africa. And then we have the style that matches more of the Vertimar and Bella Cord, which is more Portuguese, Italian inspired. And they are the more like classic royalty style you might be familiar with. And they all have the same swatches across across the board for each of the styles. So each of the two styles has the swatches and color scheme that it has, and they all match really well. We have these beautiful chairs and a little footstool, but it's a stool to sit on, and all kinds of different dining chairs. We have two different thrones that fit both of the styles as well, and there's a lot of gameplay that goes along with this, so these are really nice. Two different couches, a chaise lounge, and a little love seat as well that like partially matches. It matches, but it doesn't. But like it's meant to be matching, so at least we have a matching love seat and couch. There is also a new lounge, like pool lounge chair, which I think is really nice. I like this style a lot. I like that it's a little bit thicker. I think this one's really nice. And then for the rest of comfort, we have two different single beds, one in both the different styles. So we have this one that's more of like carved wood, and then this one that is more, you know, jewel tone kind of colors. And they're both beautiful, and they come in both different sizes. So we have this one here too. And I, for some reason, did not swatch out the large version of this bed, but this is this version of the bed. So there's a double one of this one as well. So you can see these swatches right here. There's also two different cribs that fit the styles as well. I don't know why there's less of one than there is the other, but I do think they're pretty cute. Moving on to plumbing, we have this beautiful tub. It has this gorgeous tile that does match the floor tile that we got. We have a new sink that matches the new kitchen line kitchen set of counters. A second sink that I don't think it like lines up with these. Yeah, it's just a standalone like pedestal sink, but it has that matching tile look as that same floor in the tub. And moving on to the cabinets, these are the cabinets. They come in so many different colors and they're so pretty. And I think they're just so normal looking. I do wish we had a few more standard wood tone and classic cabinet color variations, but I do think all of the colors are fun, and we don't have a lot of great colorful cabinets. And then for surfaces, we have a cute little bistro table. It kind of just looks like a recolor of the one from like Cottage Living and bistro stuff or the bistro kit and all that, but it's a cute little table, and I like the different tablecloth swatches on here. We have two different large dining tables. And then we have two hallway tables, a few little side tables, two different coffee tables, and two different desks. And then over here we have a closet. The one thing that is a little bit frustrating is that there's no like low dresser, a low one that's like table height. There's only like tall wardrobe style ones, and I kind of wish there was a low one as well. But it's okay. I think it'll probably go pretty well with the base game ones. We also have a bar and a bar back right here, and it comes in all of these swatches. And we have a bit of a china cabinet, like open china cabinet display right here. And there's this really, really pretty vanity that I think is very beautiful and also has some nice colors to it. Moving on to more decor stuff. First, we have this cute little, what is this called? An umbrella, a parasol, umbrella, parasol. It's cute. I think these are all the swatches. No, it's only some of the swatches. So this does come in more swatches. I just ran out of space, but it has some pretty cute swatches on there. And then we have what I think is pretty cool. We have these ornate wall decoration panels. So these have a bunch of different colorways, And there's 3 versions of the little small ones, and there are 3 versions of the tall ones. I just didn't swatch them out, but they do come in all of the colors. They come in a lot of different colors. But these are basically to make different wall patterns. So you can use these to create just really cool patterns, kind of similar to like this wall that we have here, you know, how it has the like trim on it. You can do that with these items. And I think that's really fun. I haven't really ventured out to trying these yet because I need to kind of look up some inspo in it for that. But I think that's a really fun feature to have with this pack because we don't really have anything like that yet. Here we have these icons. Now these are the same icons that your Sims can use in the Dynasty system as your coat of arms for the family. So we have them in the colors, and we also have them in more like gold color. I didn't swatch them all out, but they have some pretty cute little icons. We have a few different wall paintings. So we have this one that has 2 different photos in it with different frame colors. We have this one again, 2 different photos with a bunch of different frame colors, and for this one as well, Princess Cordelia, but it's only 1 photo, but a bunch of different frame colors. We also have this beautiful mirror as well. It is quite large, but it's very pretty. And then we have this mirror as well. Now this one is interesting because for some reason, it sits incredibly high up. You can do a trick to adjust it, and it's removing these walls, but you have to use the move objects on cheat and the different like building things that you can do and do that, but it's really kind of annoying to have to do that. So it's weird that it's so high up, but it's very beautiful, and it would definitely get more use if it was lower. So I will be using tool on this all the time. So this really cute wall. I don't know if I would call this like it's a divider. It's called a divider, but it's this really pretty divider with almost kind of like woven macrame sort of hanging pieces that is beautiful. We also have 3 different curtains. We have this one, which honestly feels a lot like stuff that we have. It feels like a lot like a base game one, just with different colors. It comes with 3 different heights. We have this one that's more of a sheer curtain that comes with some different patterns, and there are both sides of it. Just didn't swatch them all out. That comes in all 3 heights as well. And then we have this one, which honestly, this is giving more like wall tapestry than drape curtain. So I think you can use this for like both of those if you wanted to, but I think it's very pretty as well. Now for smaller decor and clutter, we have this cute little bowl of fruit. We have some fruit trees as well. We have this little orange tree, and then there's also a lemon tree over here that I think are pretty cute. Now this plant right here, this like pedestal plant, it looks a lot like ones that we have in base game. I'm gonna be so real with you. When I first saw it, I looked at it and said, that's a recolor of a base game one. And as you can see, it does look very similar to the base game one, but there are some differences with the actual foliage. We have this banana plant tree, which I have to say, the banana plant tree from Jungle Adventure is one of my absolute favorite plants to use in this game, but it's hard to use because it's too big for the majority of lots. You have to have 3 wall height to really make it work to not mess up the shadows. So I'm so excited to have a smaller one that also shrinks pretty well. The one from Jungle Adventure does not shrink very well. So I'm so excited about that. We also have a bigger version of this pedestal. It's not exact same as like this one, but we have a bigger pedestal plant. We also have a potted palm plant, which is really pretty. Then over here, we have some of the cute little clutter. We have a little bowl of lemons, a little boat, which for some reason, I haven't found anything that's this slots to, like a table or anything. Okay, well, it slots to this one. Does this slot to any of like the tables? Like the hallway tables and stuff? Like it does the side tables and like the coffee tables and the dining tables and stuff. So I don't know what that is up with that. We have a bunch of different beautiful vases. We have some that are more like woven and then some like metal vases. This one looks like an urn. We have this cute little wood carving, another giant vase that again also looks kind of like an urn. And then these are the different clutter pieces that we have. Most of them are grouped pieces. So we have, this is a piece with the globe. This is a piece, this beautiful fan, this bowl, the telescope with the map, this little set of perfume, this beautiful mirror. This mirror it's gorgeous. It's stunning. And it comes in a few different swatches. We also have a pair of loose shoes, which is so exciting. I don't know why. I just love some shoe clutter, but we have different shoes and I'm very excited about those. Then we have these 3 masks, which are unlockable through the new Grand Ball event. We also have a crown, which is also unlocked through the career, and then this little trinket box as well. There's also this cool floor or roof piece that makes it open air, so it's really more for like a roof or like the ceiling of like the first floor and it goes up to the second floor kind of thing, because otherwise it just kind of goes into the dirt. But we have this and it's very pretty and it comes in a bunch of different wood tones. Now for rugs, we have a few different rugs. I will say I'm a little bit disappointed in them, but like some of them are good. So we have this one. This is more of like a decorative marble piece, like a marble inlay than a rug that you can put on the different tile floors. We do have a runner, and it's always nice to have a new runner. It's got a bunch of different swatches. I haven't really used it yet, but it does have some pretty colors. This one I would say is probably my favorite. I think it's gorgeous. And then these ones, I will say, I did shrink down because they're quite large and I was running out of space. But they do have some nice colors and swatches. But I wish we had maybe a few more. I wish we just had a few more, maybe in different shapes, maybe a square one. I just always need more rugs. I think we never have enough rugs. This right here is a really cool gameplay item with a bunch of different colors. This is a secret passageway. So if you put this in your Sims household, they can inspect them and discover them. And then as you discover more secret passageways, your sim can travel between them, whether they're on your lot or on their different lot. You can use them as a fast travel space. And I think that's really fun. You can also, this is also the item that can trigger the new death, which is death by cuckoo clock. So you can sabotage the cuckoo clock and you can also woohoo with the clock. There is a new telescope, which I think is just beautiful. A new chess table. We have new market selling tables. There are also 2 different podiums. This one is available by default, and then this one right here is unlocked in the Noble Career. We have a few different stalls where your Sims can buy stuff in the towns. We have the swordsmanship dummy that your Sims can fight. We have this beautiful piano, which comes in lots of different colors. We have 3 variations of the dance floors. So we have the small square. We also have this one that's below it is a large square. I just had to shrink it. And then we have this rectangle one. We also have a new dollhouse for your Sims to play with, like for the children, which I think is really cute. And that's the exterior. And then we have this item right here, which is a family lineage board, and your Sims can interact with this and look at your Sims family tree or fake their family tree. Moving on to the second lot that I didn't have space for everything on, we have the lights. So here we have all of our lighting. We have a little lantern, a candelabra, some little table lamps, some sconces, and also a new speaker. We also have these really pretty standing lamps and 2 different chandeliers. There is also a new boat that your Sims can use, 2 different bookcases in all 3 heights, and they do come in all of these great swatches. 2 fireplaces, just look at how beautiful those are. These are the 2 dressers that I was talking about. So we have the one that's a closet that your Sims can put clothes in that do come with new clothes. And then we have this more armoire one, which I think they're both beautiful. I just wish we had a low dresser as well. And then we have the new fridge and the new stove. I think the stove is really fun that it has the range hood attached to it. I think that looks really nice. And then we have a mailbox. But that is all the build buy. I think it has some pretty nice stuff in here. I do think the build section is my favorite versus the buy, just because it's not really my style of building. These more regal, fancy, ornate builds are not my thing. I build really tiny micro homes and mid-century and like I don't build the style. So I don't imagine I will be using a lot of this very often, but I probably will be using the build stuff a lot, including the landscaping and the terrain paint especially. And I do think the brick walls are really nice, and that one tile floor, the stone tile floor, I think is incredible. Overall, I think I'll give this build by like an 8 out of 10, I would say. It feels very well rounded in terms of the different items that we have. There are just a few things that I wish we had though, like a low dresser and a lower mirror. Like, why is that mirror up so high? And I also would have loved some more floors that maybe match the walls a little. I also would have loved some more tile floors. But overall, I think this build buy is really nice. But thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts on this build buy. On if you like it, do you think you'll get it and use it a lot? Is it something you might pass on because it's not quite your style? I'd love to know your thoughts. Leave them down in the comments below and we can chat about it. And make sure you subscribe because I have a bunch more early access videos coming up and you don't want to miss those. And if you want to play with me live, I will be streaming Mondays, Tuesdays, Fridays at 1 p.m. Eastern and at 12 p.m. on Thursdays on Twitch, where we're going to be playing this early access pretty much until the day of the release. So make sure you come join us for that. Thanks so much for watching and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!